Sandra was waiting down at the road when John rode up on his motorcycle. She didn't want him to come up to the house since she was afraid there might be a confrontation with her dad. Both were smiling as they always do as soon as they saw each other. "Hop on," said John, and Sandra climbed onto the bike and off they went. He wasn't going to drive fast. John is a level-headed 16-year-old, and they had been in an accident recently on this road. So he was being very cautious. And they rode west towards the larger farms that stretched out, some of them as far as the eye could see. It is beautiful country in those parts, with streams and brooks full of fish, and bridges to cross. The air was fresh, and for Sandra, she felt like she was in heaven, as she held on tight, with arms around her beloved. She almost wished the road would go on forever. There is something about a motorcycle that makes you feel free. The wind in your hair, the wide open view. It was a gorgeous day. She knew that she would remember that day for the rest of her life. For John, it gave him a feeling of independence. He didn't mind getting a ride home from the theatre by Janet, but if he had his choice he would rather do it this way, rather than sit in the back seat of the car. He has his true love with him, and he feels like things are more special and intimate. He feels more like a man when he is riding his motorcycle. They rode for almost an hour when they came upon a small store and got something to drink. They sat at the picnic table outside for a few minutes, as happy as can be, then started back the way they came. What a gorgeous day to be alive. All the worries of the world just washed away in the breeze as they rode along those country roads. This day was theirs to remember always. They passed on Old Church and the bell was ringing. A couple had just got married and a small crowd was gathered around them as they made their way out of the church. People were all dressed in their Sunday best and throwing rice at the couple. Sandra smiled and laid her head on John's neck, dreaming that someday that might be them. John reached behind with one arm to pull her close behind him, in response. They pulled up to her driveway in uneventful fashion. No ducks there to ruin their day that time. Fate was on their side, at least for now. They kissed there on the side of the road and shivers ran up and down their spines. If you were to look at them, you would see just how good a match they are. They look like they were made for each other. Let's go horseback riding tomorrow, said Sandra. Really, said John. That would be excellent. Meet me here again at the same time. I will have the horses right here, said Sandra. Where can I leave my bike? Asked John. Sandra hadn't thought of that. Oh, that's right. The next driveway, that's our field driveway, you can pull in there and park it inside the gate. Let's meet there. Okay, said John. See you tomorrow then, said Sandra. Bye, said John, as he fired up his bike again and headed down the road to home.